Here's the engine, pretty much ready to go back in. Just do a quick overview of what's been done to it before we pop it back in the van. Hopefully the reinstallation goes smoothly. Never done it before, but how hard can it be? It's just doing what we done when we took it out, but in reverse. The only thing I'm concerned about is it's been sat for a good 2 or 3 months now, and bolts and little pieces tend to go missing when things are left lying around, don't they? Yeah, so I mean, it looks pretty clean now. I'm quite happy with what we've ended up with. We spent quite a lot of money on it, to be fair. This has probably had a grand's worth of parts spent on it. It was pretty filthy before, and pretty sure it was running on 3 cylinders. It didn't go well. We haven't rebuilt the engine. It's more of a refurbishment and a bit of a service, so hopefully the bits we have done are enough to pick up the performance a bit. So from the top, the oil style air filter has been replaced with this sort of pancake paper filter. I have been told that the oil filters, it runs better with the oil filter, so we'll see how that goes, but we can always change it back, I suppose. Carburettor fully resurfaced, refurbed and serviced. So got the service kit and replaced all the seals and the gaskets and new jets and everything. New distributor, new spark harnesses, new spark plugs, new coil. I don't think that's new. We've got the fuel pump. That's a new piece. That actually came with I believe it came with the alternator kit. So this now replaces the dynamo. So when we wire that in, hopefully it works. All the other bits we've just sort of cleaned up and painted and brushed everything back to bare metal. The whole engine's had a good clean up. New fan belt, new oil filler. This one, I'm not sure if it's facing the wrong way. I assume that needs plugging up, otherwise the oil's going to come out of it, but we'll worry about that later. All new tinware. The fan shroud is actually the original. It's just been stripped back and cleaned and repainted. The exhaust manifold cleaned up and repainted. Very nice. All new nuts and bolts. Valve inside the heads has all been cleaned out. Valve clearances all checked and adjusted. Both sides, obviously. New heaters or heat exchangers, whatever they're called. New exhaust. What else have we done? There's the tailpipe, and this is that's sort of the brace, or like the cross brace piece that pretty much holds the engine into the back, and I think you screw the bumper down onto it. So yeah, looking forward to it all going back in. It's got no oil in at the moment. We've got 5 litres of SAE 30. Obviously it makes sense to put it in first and then put the oil in, because it'll be lighter. We've got a battery somewhere. Yeah, fuel hose, got a load of fuel hose line and a fuel filter to go in line, and then we'll just put it back in on this sort of a ATV motorcycle trolley and see how it goes, and hopefully by the end of the day we'll have an engine back in the van, possibly running. So we'll see you there.
Where's the oil filler cap, by the way?
We want the back facing that way.
So they're front facing you, so the
Front facing
flywheel
you.
and everything facing you.
Yeah, because then we can just push it in. Well, actually, it's going to go in the car, so I suppose it doesn't really make a difference. At the moment, we just need to get it on there.
Or make it.
Probably one hand under the valve covers and one hand on the strap.
Under the valve covers as well. Oh, it's going under the back as well.
So you're going to go around it.
So I've got to walk round to the other side, yeah?
Yeah.
You're saying that.
Have you got it?
It's it. Could do with that.
What? Look at that. Weather.
Oh, for God's sake. Right, we'll have to give it 5. Get the car up and
Bring the car and I'll move. I'll open the gate.
hold it on.
Stop.
Affect the value of the zero. You know, as soon as it goes in, it'll stop.
Yeah, well, we're going to be out there for like 2 hours fucking around, trying to get everything hooked up.
Do one time lapse. We should do one on time lapse and one on real time.
Sideways or? Well, I don't know what we're doing, sideways or?
Yeah, we just have to get it in the car.
I'm just having a roll out. When we turn around, just go real slow.
So technically speaking, what is it we're meant to be doing, Chris? Just get that onto the trolley, slide it in there,
Sounds easy, doesn't it?
and put in 4 bolts.
Is it 4 or 3?
4.
I hope it's 3 because we've only got 3 bolts, so it's going to
4 bolts,
It's
but
going to have to be 3.
we're off to a good start already.
Yeah. That's probably not going to do a thing. But it might keep our knees a bit dry. Nothing else.
Yeah. So, this is optimistic beforehand. That's what it should take. In reality, it's probably going to be more like, what, 5 hours? 3 arguments?
I guess
And a lot of swearing?
It is what it is. Yeah.
It is what it is. You know, if you start kicking off halfway through this, I'm just going to film you. Do you want to uncover the gearbox as well? That's
No idea. Lots of wires which we don't know what they are.
we took pictures of them, didn't we, before we took it out? Like you've got it going to your fuel gauge, one of them will be.
We've got a fuel gauge.
We have, it doesn't work. But none of it does. You've got your ignition cable back there and then your fuel line. Gearbox, oh that looks so sexy.
Still nice and oily and greasy.
Yeah.
Look. Okay, 1, 2, 3, and that's why we've only got.
Well, can we not get it out?
Well, no, we want it.
Oh right, is it already? It's just a.
There's nothing on the end. What's the?
What do you mean? There's nothing on the end?
Well, it's like one of those, so it just locks itself in, and you tighten it from this side down.
Well, that's clever.
Okay, so you don't need
So
to
we
get
have
a
got 4
spanner.
bolts. So technically speaking, we get it in 4 bolts. That's fuel
Fuel
line.
line and throttle cable.
Yeah. That's it, throttle cable. I called it ignition cable, but
We're going to keep that supported.
my car's on a diffy for it. We've got to keep that supported until it's all in. Do we not
Do you
need...
want to line up the bolts first?
might be a good idea. While it's out. Yeah. Moving to time lapse.
We're about halfway through now. We've got the engine bolted up to the transmission at the back, and we've got at the moment it's just so we've got the gearbox on one jack and we've got the engine held up on another jack, and it's pissed it down all day, so we've got absolutely soaked doing this. But we can't wait any longer because we need to get this into the body shop this month. Now, unfortunately, we're missing one of the bolts out of here, which is gonna. This brace holds the engine up and then it mounts onto each side of those, and that's what's gonna support the engine. So, Michelle's just driven to the hardware store to see if we can't get one of those bolts, otherwise we might just have to put it in without it, which would be a shame. But yeah, looking a bit, can't tell if it's like cocksided at the moment or maybe the van's on on an angle, but it's looking pretty sweet. The inside was just the oxide primer before, and I've top coated it all now. So getting there. I'm not sure we're going to have it running today, but it's going to be in one way or another, and it's going to be supporting itself without the jack stands. That's the goal for today, and then tomorrow we'll get it running, hopefully, if not today. But it's wet now, so I'm going to go and sit inside the cockpit for a while I wait for Michelle to get back. Yes.
One week later.
Morning everyone. It's now the next weekend. We didn't quite finish it last week, so hopefully today, not much in principle, not much to do. We've got, all I've got to do really is reconnect throttle cables, fuel hose into here, fuel hose into the carb, reconnect the battery, put some oil in, and all being good and well should start up. So we'll see. Let's give it a go. Now, someone who's much more knowledgeable than I am might be able to tell me why I've got two fuel pumps. So we've got this, what I presume is some kind of an ancillary fuel pump, and then we've got the fuel pump down here, which when I've seen these all like tubed up and connected, normally we'll go fuel hose, fuel filter straight into this fuel pump and then into the carb. So I'm not sure why we've got two, unless when we removed the engine this was not working, which is why this was on here. But now this is a brand new fuel pump, so I think before we go through that one, I'm just going to go here, put the fuel filter in and go straight into this and then into the carb, and we'll see. Let's see what happens. Got a few other bits as well. We've got the nice brand new sort of clamps underneath here and all new fixtures. We've got a new bolt. That one was just on there, it's the wrong one. We've got new bolts to hold the support frame on. So alright, let's carry on.
Having looked at the photo and decided that the battery needed turning round, we're now happy with which cable goes where. Okay.
The battery doesn't fit very nicely in there.
Well, it should technically be screwed in at the bottom, shouldn't it? It should have that little lip that it attaches to.
Right, it just floats around.
Yeah, that's not ideal, but it'll be enough
there
to...
we go. That's okay, that's on. It's not fantastically on. Yeah.
That bit attaches to starting motor.
These are all
So that goes onto your battery the other side.
These are all a bit sort of messy.
You need to...
I'm not going to get electrocuted when I put this in anyway.
Is the other one attached?
Yeah.
Then possibly.
You do it. Do I need rubber gloves on?
Well, it would be useful to have something with rubber on your hands.
There you go, you've got smaller hands than me, I'll film you putting it on.
Do you have to film me? You just trashed it. Okay. Let me grab my gloves from in the house just in case. Okay, so positive, we'll go onto the battery. Cable comes down to the regulator where we have one wire on the end. Oh, we've got a cable missing there actually at the top. And then on the bottom we've got 3 cables here, one of which is just not attached. Coming up to these sorts of ends here. That was the dynamo attachment. And this is the new alternator attachment. So we're going to have to change one of the ends by the look of it and figure out where that extra cable goes.
Let's have a look at the old girl while we're waiting for Michelle to come back. She's currently checking out the wiring diagram so that we can, as before, that's the old dynamo that came out and we've got the alternator instead now. See, and yeah, going to bypass this fuel pump. We don't need it. I think we just use the original one. Speak of Satan. If you boned up on your wiring diagram.
Yep. So
Michelle's the electrician on this project.
we're all gonna die.
Get the fire extinguisher on standby. Let's have a look at the front while it's uncovered. We don't get to see this often enough. Just sat out here on the driveway with the cover on. Can't wait till summer and there's no more cover. The window wipers need to go back on. We've given the headlights a bit of a clean up. Sparkly chrome ready to go back on. This is the bit that's getting replaced in the body shop. So too is that floor panel. It's getting replaced, and this wheel arch. And if you can see in there, there's the sort of the rusty old covers that are going to go back over here to sort of keep a look. Same on this side. This side's not as bad, but the sills are a bit cack. So that's in about 2 weeks' time. It's going into the body shop to have all that work done. So this needs to be running so we can get it down there.
One of the problems we've got here with this cable, which is going to go to the coil at the back there. We are switching over from wherever it is, one of the push-on focus connector types there. Focus. And we will be switching to one of the rings, giggety. So that's what we've got to do, but this cable is so brittle. It's actually snapping at different points. The insulating coating doesn't actually bend anymore. So as you'll see, it keeps splitting, which obviously is not good. And we need to make sure that is fully insulated so that it's not hitting any other part of the metal in the engine. So I will go ahead and fix the circular attachment here. Unfortunately, I don't have any heat shrink at the moment, but this is essentially just a quick job until we rewire completely, so should be sufficient just to get it started. And then once we've attached that, we can get that hooked up to the coil. Job's a good one. Okay, so that's the black cable, very roughly covered. Circular end crimped on. Again, no heat shrink wrap, and we are going to be redoing the wiring looms. So I just wanted to make sure it wasn't going to short. So this cable is going to fit into these holders here around the back, like so. This blue connector is going to fit onto that, and then this green cable here comes around the back. I'm going to feed it through from that. Feed it through right. Attach the oil pressure switch. Like so. There we pulled enough of the cable through. There we go. Champion. The right lines. Top and the back there. Champion.
What are you doing with the phone?
Filming you. So that's that clipped in and plugged in. But we can't just whack a bolt on him just yet, because we also now need to attach the auto choke, which is here, this cable there, and also the electromagnetic cutoff, which is this one here. Ooh. Try not to break the engine. So we will have another cable which will come out, and it will be attached here onto the auto choke, and then butt splice round to the electromagnetic cut-off valve there. Okay, so we'd already got the one on here, so this one will go on as well, like so. Not the cleanest way of doing this, I'm afraid, so I don't know if I can film and do it, but you can get the kind of gist. So in fact, if I start at the auto choke, that's probably going to be the easiest. So I'm going to clip on the auto first. Right in, got to rake it, which will fit on here. There we go. You see it there? Well, it will do, and I'll take it. There on. It's going to go on there, but need two hands. 2 secs. So that one goes on the auto choke there, and then the blue one, the circular bit, goes around the back. And we'll just sit on the coil there happily, and then the other blue one, which is this bad boy here, will also go around the back and pop round, and don't go back there. It's going to sit on the auto cutoff. I think I need a helmet cam or something, because this is a lot of fun. Right, there we go. So it will be clipping onto this here. Yay! Wonderful. And then we're just gonna pop a bolt on that. And that's this section of the engine done. So you've got your coil there, which goes directly down into the bottom of the distributor there. You've got the middle of your coil here, which plugs through T distributor. That's number 3. Sorry, and then you've got T distributor in the middle rather, and then you've got your 1. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. We had the main cable that came through the back here with 2 cables on it, as was black and green, which we threaded through the back. The black one of which goes onto the coil, and the green one of which goes on here. And that's our oil pressure switch. I'm actually going to put it behind that there, because that's going to upset me otherwise. But if I OCD on that, there we go. Anyway, if that gets hot, it's probably better to keep it away. Anyway, so that's that section of the engine done. So the next bit we now need to wire in is the battery and the regulator. Okay, now I have seen a few videos where they've switched out the alternator. Obviously the alternator has a slightly different attachment on the top here. We've got the screw-on bolt, and you've also got the top here. So And then you've also got your bolt here, which, whatever it is, this one here, and that is for your earth. Okay, so the way it's going to work is the brown here is going to be the earth. Okay, so that's going to screw into the bolt. That's fine. And then you've got your red and the green at the front, which are going to go to these two here. Now we have this, which goes to the battery, and then this part of the battery goes through the back, that goes to the starter motor there. In some conversions they don't actually require a regulator for the new alternators. Having said that, everything I've seen about this one online doesn't suggest that it has a regulator in it. Feel free to comment if that is not the case. This is the conversion kit, so I just want to make sure that we have the regulator just in case. Now on this particular bus, this second cable out of the regulator was attached to nothing, like most cables on it. Literally just pulled out an entire cable length that was attached to nothing. So not sure what that is supposed to be, but this little doodad here on the top there should go to this one here. Okay, so whilst looking at the regulator, trying to figure out where the earth wire is going to go, we look underneath the regulator. There's like a little thing there. Couldn't get a nut for it, and I've been looking, trying to work out where the heck it could go. Well, if it's an earth, it just literally, it's to ground it, so it means it's going to take any excess from there and grind it to somewhere in the engine. So there's this little doodad here, so we're going to fix the brown one to that, and then to that one up on the top there. That's where we're going to go. Okay.
I'm getting close to being able to start this little bugger up, aren't we?
Well, we hope so.
Well, give it a try.
We're try.
If we turn the key and nothing happens, I'm instantly out of ideas.
You know, the instant thing is, it's Michelle's fault. She was meant to do the electric.
Like, if it doesn't fire up immediately, I don't know what to do after that.
Well, it'd be nice to hear at least that there's a chung noise or something like that. At least there's power getting to it.
I'm used to working on very simple engines, so where, first of all, it's like, has it got fuel? Has it got compression? Is it getting air? And if it doesn't fire up,
that is too small for that.
like if the engine doesn't turn, then it's not going to draw petrol anyway, because at the moment no petrol's coming through. It's only going to start flowing when the engine turns, I assume. And well, that's a good point. How's the petrol pump meant to pump petrol if the engine's not running, and how does the engine run if it doesn't have any petrol? Do we need to put some like petrol in the carb just to get it started?
That might be something we might need to Google.
Because look, there's no fuel coming through at the moment.
Oh, no.
There's no fuel in the fuel line, so how's it going to fire up? Or will the action of the engine turning,
it should do,
should be enough to pump
and the
it?
power that I need bigger pliers, I need stronger ones.
You need
to
thick
sort of
ones.
squish this a bit.
So we're getting close, aren't we, to trying now?
Well, if I can get this in the crimper.
You can crimp it off and then we'll have a go.
I can crimp it off, it should at least.
I'm going to go and get the bigger pliers and make myself useful. Have you got it? While you're doing that, I have myself a Lock 10 IPA, courtesy of Aldi. It looks very shellish inside, doesn't it?
What me?
There's literally nothing in there. It's a blank canvas. It's hard to picture it being anything else at this point. But the back does look shit hot now, doesn't it? Get that running. Get the bodywork, get the bodywork sorted so we can put the windows back in. Are you getting some bodywork done as well, are you? Very nice indeed.
Okay, after much deliberation, it has been decided that the brown apparently doesn't do anything. It's meant to be some sort of earth, but we've disconnected it. Well, I've left it attached to the regulator, but it's not being connected at this end for now. The red one is going to go to the B+. Yeah. And the green one we have switched out for the plug-on bit, and that's going to go onto that one just there. Originally we're looking at putting the earth onto that bolt there, but it was a bit difficult to get out, and gotta be honest, don't really want the alternator to just fall apart, so pop them on and see how we get on. Okay, so we have the red one going onto here, which is marked with D+, and the green one going onto the back, which confused me because on the plastic it actually says D+, and on the schematics that should be DF, but hey ho. Earth we haven't attached to anything at the moment. That might change. And then what we're going to do is we're going to hook up the battery. Why? That shouldn't be on the top. So, positive first, which is this, and then negative. And then we're going to give her a fire and see if it actually turns. Something I nearly forgot to do. So at the back here on the regulator, which is now wired up, we have oops, you can just about see it, this additional bit here and this blue wire here, and that needs to go on because that's your ignition warning switch, so I'll attach that now. And that will go
Ready to give it a turn of the key? Do you want me to turn the key, or do you want to go up there and turn the key? Whoever's at the back, watch the fuel filter and see if any petrol comes through.
You should probably watch the engine while I turn the key.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Shall we film from the back? Or I think it's more entertaining if the engine starts from the back, isn't it?
Yeah.
Rather than moment of truth. I'm a bit nervous.
I'm really nervous.
I don't think it's going to do anything. I'll be surprised if the battery's not flat, to be honest.
Oh, if it goes tick, 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 that's the flat battery. And that's fine because we can jump start. But if it doesn't make a noise,
then yeah, if it does nothing, that's
more worrying.
sort of back to the drawing board then, isn't it?
Okay, so please.
Oh, it made a noise. Okay, yeah, fuel's starting to trickle through. Okay. Keep going. It's not got any fuel yet, so. Just keep going. I think it hasn't got any fuel. It's gas. Yeah, I know, but like it's not gonna get fuel into the system unless you keep turning it over. I mean, we can if it runs flat, we can top it up. Go on, do it again. I'll give it some throttle. Okay. I think it might be a lack of fuel, or we've got fuel in there now in the filter. We could check the spark plugs are all. It's turning, but oh, hang on. No, I don't know. I've not touched it. That wouldn't affect the spark, would it? Well, it's got power. Oh, hang on, that's just clicked. Go on, try a bit longer. The battery's getting flat, yeah. Do you want to hook it up to the car and...
Well, yeah, but we need to have a look as to... We need to have a quick look as to why that's not starting, so...
Well, I think it's because it's not, you know, it's just, it needs to get everything back. It needs to get fuel in the system. The carbs are probably, like, they are totally empty. They need to fill up with fuel first. I mean, it should be sparking. I'll just check all the connections.
Let me double check my photos of the fuse box and make sure that all the different... Give us a start then. Are you going to film from the back?
Yeah. Everyone likes it from behind. And she goes. Oh, stop. Hang on, we've got a fuel leak. Wait. Okay, wait, we're leaking fuel out the carb. I think it's flooded. Oh no, it's not. I know what it is. It's just the hose is not clamped on properly, that's all. Okay, so we've got fuel. Just seems like we're not getting spark. Go on, keep going. I guess so, I mean... Alright, now stop. Okay, stop now, stop. It's pouring fuel out the carb now. Alright, we'll stop that. Right, let's have a think about it.
So, we have fuel coming out of the fuel pump there. And out the carb at the top there. Because there are no hose clamps.
Yeah, I've got some hose clamps.
You got some? Okay, so we're going to get the cable clamps on there and try again. Let's see if that's the issue. If not, sparks.
No new spark plugs. We just need to make sure they're all connected. It could be the firing order was correct though. I think.
Yes, we checked the fire. We triple checked the firing order. Unless you changed it since we did.
Get one in.
That's a good question. Do you need a smaller one? Okay, so we're going to have another go. This is a good.
Something with the carbs, I think. Yeah. Alright, stop. Yeah. Wait, stop. No. Okay, shit, stop, don't, come back. We've got fire. Something's melting.
Do you need the fire extinguisher?
It's the plastic around your wire, you know, your homemade plastic. It smells like burnt plastic. Oh
sure
shit, look at the battery.
That's coming from the battery, Chris. That's not coming from the plastic.
No, it's coming from there, isn't it?
It does smell like... Let me look. I can't see where it's coming from, but it does smell like burning plastic.
I think it's your wrap on the... look, it's melted. It's come off that wrap, hasn't it?
Off that bit.
Something.
Yeah, hang on.
It's pulled itself
There's
off.
a cable come out.
It's come out as well.
Whoa!
Okay,
Okay.
so it's shorted out.
This has come off, Chris. That's why.
That's pulled it off.
Yeah, you pulled that off. Right, can we turn...
Do you want to disconnect the battery?
Well, you're going to have to, yeah.
And then put that back on?
Yeah, we're going to have to. Okay, so currently in Rusty. Meant to be working, but we got a bit of life to the old gal. We think it was to do with the distributor. Don't think the timing was right. So we've had a play around, and she fired into life. But it appears Chris had knocked one of the wires off that fed into it. Into the carb. So we ended up with a little bit of smoke and nearly a fire. So update is she's nearly ready to start. Hopefully, if she does, we'll be able to take her for a little spin. I think the battery might be a bit low at the moment, which is why she's not currently firing, but we're certainly in a better place this time round. So fingers crossed. Right, the interior of Rusty. Not sure we've seen it before. Certainly not in video. So, we're going to give her a go. You ready? Oh!
Go on.
Come on, baby. Come on, baby. You need to rev my car, really.
Go on.
What is wrong with Rusty? Come on, baby. Place that there anyway. Yeah? Off?
Yeah. Okay, so it's running. Basically, like when it starts and I'm holding the throttle like this, and you can hear it's revving, and then as soon as I ease off the throttle, it just dies. I'm not quite sure. I think you just probably need to play with the mixture screws and the idle screw, I guess. So it's running. You can try it one more time if you want.
Okay. What? Indeedy. You are?
It's fine. The engine started and it's running. I need to play with the idle and adjust the carb, I think.
Okay.
When it's light, because I can't see anything.
Yeah, it's getting a bit dark now.
But it fired. I mean, it's firing, isn't it?
Yeah. So that was distributor, was it?
Yeah. So I just had to line up the front of the distributor with the rotor in the right position. It's probably still. Well, it's not clamped down, so it could still be moving, but we need to. Yeah, get this in exactly the right place.
If it's not clipped down, is that? Do you think
No,
that
it is
might...
clipped down, but like where it can move around inside its own thing there. But it's firing in the right order,
okay.
and it's running,
Okay.
but it won't idle. It just sort of revs out and then cuts out.
And that's not clipping it in isn't going to change.
Also,
that.
I need to pull the throttle cable because it's not really on at the moment. I can only do it with my finger. So So you've got no control.
I was going to say it wasn't doing anything when I was using
No,
mine.
it wouldn't do.
Okay, well, further forward than we were.
Well, the engine ran, didn't it?
Yeah.
So
It's had fuel for it at least.
it's had fuel and it fired and it was revving. So
Come on then, let's go.
that's something to work with now, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think it's just a case of